This is spEarz to the streets. 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 This to the streets, to the streets, to the streets, to the This is spEarz to the streets. Get down to the beat, or get beat down in the street.
No Mercy has always been a favorite of mine when it comes to WWE PLEs. And No Mercy 16, NXT carried on that tradition by having North American champion Sol Ruca defend her speed title against Jada Parker. This was a big deal because this was the first speed defense on a PLE, and these women used the springboard wisely, showing just how fresh and special competition for this title is. Sol came through looking like a speed racer extra, with Zarya in tow, waving a checkered flag for her ringside, while Jada Parker's ring gear looked like the colorway was inspired by a checkerboard, complete with a high-waisted thong design that was a part of the tights, not under them. An eye-catching choice to keep eyes glued so they wouldn't miss a second of the speed match. With 5 minutes, this title defense had a noticeably extended clock than a regular speed match, but even if it would have been the usual 3 minutes, I have no doubt that the ladies would have had no problem making the most of it as they did on this night. Jada Parker showed that she would spend the match with a focus on pinning Ruca as fast as possible, but Ruca was just too fast for Parker and showed that by countering her early with a backstabber into a tree of woe and playfully smacking her on the ass. This followed with Ruca mocking Parker's high steps outside the ring after a successful cannonball spot in front of the fans. This is the most I have ever seen Ruca ragdoll a woman. Despite Parker's size, Ruca was dragging Parker outside the ring and hopping towards Parker, constantly bringing the fight towards her opponent. Parker's blows were damning, but even when she hit her signature high five, her Achilles heel was shown that her attacks took too much time. Parker's moves were best used to counter Ruca's high-flying spots, like when Ruca tried to flip off the top of the steps and ended up landing on her feet, but then getting rammed with Parker's running hip attack, the Hypnotic. Parker's chops were more brutal than her presses and plexes, but Ruca's chops were otherworldly, forcing Parker to contort her face when getting hit by them, taking the breath out of her. The fireman slam on Ruca was a great spot, as well as the side plex, just as Ruca's DDT spot, but the stamp on this postcard was Parker, taking her eye off the ball and placing it on Zarya, antagonizing Ruca's valet ringside while Lash Legend snuck up behind Ruca's competitor to confront her. Zarya made a move to spear Parker, and Legend ate it, being in the line of fire, setting up a feud for the future. Parker climbed back in the ring after the carnage, only for Ruca to take advantage and snatch her soul for the win. A cat and mouse game. Ruca played Parker, outlasting Parker's pin attempts and taunting her often cocky competitor. Though Ruca was overzealous a couple of times, causing her to crash, burn, and run into Parker's signatures, ultimately Ruca's suicidal caution to the win style paid off for her yet again in this unique elevated setup. Parker walks away with a loss yet again, though her tenacity and willingness to step up and challenge is still admirable. She will eventually find gold, but all she walked away with this night is an extended feud with Lash Legend and now Zarya, which keeps Parker's name in pro wrestling enthusiasts' mouths, which is never a bad thing. I also would like to commend that the only non-black woman in this segment was Zarya, and with Kalani Jordan securing the Knockouts title, this speed match helped cap off a weekend of success for FBA women in WWE. That's commendable. When Ruca defends her North American title, there's no way she will press her opponent the way she did Parker in No Mercy, and she shouldn't be expected to. But for what speed is, this championship match was designed for a strawweight like Sol to perform in her element, and it's good to see the double champion with her foot firmly on the gas, not wasting a second of her run.
This is spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. This to the streets, to the streets, to the streets, to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. Get down to the beat, or get beat down in the street.